Welcome everybody, my name is Michael, and today we are discussing about Voyager Digital being bailed out. It sounds like a 2008 recession thing. The bailouts are beginning, and these are no small sums. Oh, thank you so much, man. Have a good night. Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX and Alameda Research is bailing out both Blockfi and Voyager, and these are no small sums. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars just for Voyager and hundreds of millions for BlockFi. You think they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart? No. This is, as Reddit said, the wolf in sheep's clothing. Because when you get into FTX and Alameda Research, you can see that they're quite closely correlated to Three Arrows Capital, which is now defunct essentially. So the whole thing behind this is Voyager hasn't received their couple $100 million back, 15,000 Bitcoin plus 350 million in USDT, an absolutely astonishing amount, and they haven't received that, and now they want to take that debt and try and collect on it. And they're not the only ones. There's a bunch of people knocking on 3AC's door, and the founders are nowhere to be seen. They took a massive leveraged risk and unfortunately collapsed their own company because they could not control the leverage. They got wiped out, and that's it. The market's turned against them. So we had $250 million that was lent out to BlockFi, huge sum, from FTX, Sam's crypto exchange company, and this is a revolving line of credit. $500 million was lent from Alameda, Sam's quantitative trading company, both deeply involved in 3AC. This was $750 million lent out to BlockFi and Voyager, a bailout of sorts, but it is a loan, and it must be paid back. And the reason FTX is doing this, again, is their involvement in 3AC. So how deep does it go? Well, let's explore that right now. And I want to remind you guys that on top of all of this, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, Alameda, they're not on our side. They've been trading against users since day one. They've been pumping up coins. They are using their quantitative algorithms to make as much money for themselves and the companies they're involved with and destroy everything they can. If you've ever watched the TV show Billions, this is essentially that. Sam Bankman-Fried has now turned into the bank instead of fighting against the banks. And the crypto community doesn't necessarily like that. He's turning crypto exchanges into Wall Street right now. He's bailing out the crypto exchanges just like the banks were bailed out on Wall Street. And this is only going to deepen the ties of cryptocurrency going mainstream, where mainstream might mean that institutional investors will become massive whales that have massive control over the average Joe, and they are going to be able to manipulate the markets to their need, and they're going to be using quantitative algorithms to gain as much money as possible and destroy the little guy. And that's exactly what's going to happen. But we have to watch it basically unfold. Some people say that a bailout is a good thing. I think it can be a good or a bad thing, but considering what happened in 2008, I guess we haven't learned really. The other thing is, with everything that's going on, FTX and Alameda, I think Sam Bankman-Fried is a genius. I think he's a very wealthy individual who's an extremely talented man. And of course, when you're playing at that level, when you're playing at the billionaire level, you're going to be doing things that are going to be, you're going to be stepping on people's toes. You're not going to be loved by everyone. You are going to be hated by many, but you're going to make a ton of money doing it, and you are going to have an impact on the world. The only thing is it going to be negative? Well, I think both positive and negative. You're going to destroy many trading accounts, but you're going to make a lot of money doing it. So altogether, FTX and Alameda are very closely tied to 3AC, and not just 3AC. When we take a look at Celsius right now, that is completely destroyed, imploded on itself. So FTX and Alameda are basically one entity, and when you trade on any cryptocurrency exchange, there's always going to be those who are able to manipulate the markets. Now, crypto is based on essentially the greater fool. Most of trading is on the greater fool. You are the greater fool when they can counter your move before it gets consummated. So a lot of the trading that is done on FTX is thanks to their quantitative formulas being used from Alameda, and in many cases they're able to make money against the own users of FTX. FTX is an excellent trading platform, but many cryptocurrency exchanges still have their own weakness. FTX is Alameda. When you trade on FTX, their quant will know before your order goes in. And the 5% you're getting, you are capitalizing their instantaneous counter trade. Literally, they are giving 5% of your money back in the form of the loss you take based on their quant's counter trade. This is quote-unquote from Reddit. FTX is the second largest exchange on Earth. FTX offers you 5% on anything you leave on FTX. There was a business article written on CoinDesk about also Goldman Sachs eyeing a collaboration with FTX. CEOs met. Sam Bankman-Fried and David Solomon discussed Goldman Sachs advising FTX talks with U.S. regulators and a possible IPO. Solomon also offered Goldman Sachs' advice in discussions with regulators, and they discussed an IPO, making a lot of money together. The two also were having talks about collaborating on market making and crypto trades. Market making involves setting buy and sell prices on certain assets, to facilitate trades and provide liquidity. The discussions demonstrate the increasing interest mainstream financial institutions are taking in the crypto industry. So many people think that there's going to be collusion, just like with Robinhood, where Robinhood gets most of their support from Wall Street and they sell off all the trades of their users. So now Goldman Sachs will be able to pick and pluck whatever they want from FTX, in addition to Alameda, Sam Bankman-Fried's own company, doing whatever they can to punish the users. Now, many people are going to ignore this and continue using it, and some might make money, but always the house will win. So what do? Well, you can't really do too much. Anyways, thanks for watching.